Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Rising Stars. I'm your interim host, Sean Watt. This production is sponsored by Urban Eats MTL. We have a very special guest for you today. He's a comedian here in Montreal, also an actor as well. I would love to present Claudio Silvio. How are you, buddy?
Thanks.
Nice
good,
to see you.
Good. You know what? I started with this intro. Hey, thanks. Instead of going, it's nice to meet you. I should have said thanks after. But anyways, that's...
Yeah. So we've known each other for a little bit now.
Yes.
It's been, what, like a year?
I think it's like a year or something.
Yeah, a year or something,
yeah.
and we're just meeting now.
Exactly, man.
Right,
You know what?
which is crazy.
It is. It's very crazy.
Yeah, and you actually interviewed me.
Yes, I did. Yes,
And
I
now
did.
the tables have turned.
Exactly.
How's it feel to be in the hot seat?
Pretty good, man. You
Yeah,
know what?
pretty good.
It's something. You know, I'm like, now
Yeah.
I understand because when you're interviewing someone, you don't have a lot of stress, but the person being interviewed, that's all the lights are on them now.
Nah, don't think of it as that. You know, it's just two amigos hanging out.
Exactly.
We're gonna have a good time.
Exactly.
So, talk to us about your upbringing. So, are you from Montreal, born and raised, or?
Yes, so my parents were Italian immigrants.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah. So
which part of Italy?
my mom is from Calabria, which is the.
I know where that is. The south.
Exactly, facing
Yeah,
Sicily.
They have a football team.
Yeah. And my dad is from Campobasso, which
Okay.
is in the middle, close to northern Italy.
Okay.
So it's been a long time that my parents came here.
Yeah.
And my dad, he was a teacher, and my mom, she was a seamstress at a couple of factories here in Montreal.
That's hard work, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
And then and then growing up, because when I was younger, I would watch a lot of action films with my dad.
Which ones in particular?
So like honestly, I started off with watching RoboCop, the Paul Verhoeven.
RoboCop. I remember that.
Yeah,
man.
that was good. And then so I'm like, because when I was younger, I wanted to become a cop. So,
Okay.
So my dad's like, oh, you want to become a cop? So he put that scene on how RoboCop, got shot multiple times.
Yeah.
He would rewind that scene over and over again. He goes, are you sure you want to become a cop?
That's so dramatic.
Yeah. and then
Diabolical.
Exactly. Then my dad introduced me to the film world, typical gangster films like Casino.
Casino's great.
Great.
Have you seen A Bronx Tale?
Yes, I was gonna bring that up.
Yeah.
So my dad introduced me to Martin Scorsese, Robert De Niro,
Yeah.
and then he was always talking about them. He goes, you know what? Not because they're Italian actors, but he's like, you know what? No, these are the films I really like. You know, so. The more I was watching these films, the more I'm like, I love Joe Pesci. He's one of my favorite actors. So my dad would show me more films and more films. And then when my dad, later on, a couple of years ago,
About a lot of those films that you're mentioning, though,
Yes.
it's all about the story,
exactly.
right? And they're
Exactly.
beautiful and they're so well done.
Yes.
So I could see where your dad's sort of relating to all of that.
Exactly. And then when my dad...
So, go ahead.
So when my dad got sick, I would show it to him. And reminiscence, as you mentioned, beautiful story and acting. Yeah.
Okay, so did that lead you to becoming an actor? Like, how did that come to be?
So in back of my mind, I've always wanted to become an actor.
Okay.
I've always, I had this mentality of, if this person can do it, why can't I do it?
It's a good mentality to have.
Yeah, it was. It was. So I tried it. I went to Dawson for cinematography, and I did a couple of student films, and I was not very knowledgeable. I'm like, I just wanted to. I just want to go in front of the camera or behind the camera and just press the record and just try it. Now, I wasn't obviously very good at it, and then I was discouraging myself. So, and then years later, I would get back into the grind and do the acting, and also do more of the stand-up comedy as well.
So you're a stand-up comedian as well.
Yeah.
Would you say that being a comedian, that would help out with your acting?
Exactly.
Does it?
It
Is
does.
it balanced, sort of like yin yang, or is it just two positives?
I find a bit of everything. It balances at the same time because for me, it's for acting. It's easier for me to get into character. It's easier for me to trust myself into reading what the actor has to go through.
Yeah.
What the story is around that. So because also going on stage, stand up, you're trying to sell yourself. It may sound odd, but you're selling yourself into.
It's like a used car salesman.
Exactly.
Step right up,
Exactly.
folks. Here's your Lamborghini.
Here it is. I'm a wish version of a Lamborghini.
Okay.
So with going on stage, it's like, this is who I am. This is what I want to be. So when I'm reading a script, when I'm doing an audition, I would be like, all right, so I have to imagine this is what I have to be.
Yeah.
This is who they want me to be. So
embodying yourself.
Exactly. Yes.
You embody it. Would you say that there's some differences when it comes to being a stand-up comedian versus an actor?
Well, yeah.
Because like, for example, as a comedian, what I would imagine is you set up the viewers for a punchline.
Yes.
And then you move on to a next story. And a lot of the time, the funny stuff is based off of true events.
Exactly.
Right? True stories.
Yeah.
But when it comes to acting, you're already given a set script.
Exactly.
Right? So how do you, as an artist, prepare for a role when it's so extreme? One is to the far left of the field and the other is the far right.
So, so stand up in a way is like, as you mentioned, you're writing your own plot, your own punchline. When I would read a script or whatever, the story's already there. Like, it's already delivered to you. You just gotta get into that character and perform. So, and this is gonna sound odd, but I have a tougher time when I have to get into that character, when I have to read about that, because what, everything's there. If you have to recite a joke for a scene, but the director is like, there's a certain way you have to do this and this and that. Yeah, it's cool, But again, it's all about trusting yourself into this character and how you would deliver it, know.
No.
Unless the director gives you carte blanche, but like, what, do it the way you want. Yeah. But at the same time, you're like, all right, so you want me to be more.
That's the thing, though, is because from comedy to acting. In comedy, you have enough time to prepare that punchline versus acting. It's like, Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory, Barney Stinson from How I Met Your Mother.
Yes.
You have to do it so quickly.
Exactly.
So it is different, right?
Exactly.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
Is it challenging, would you say?
Yes. Yes, it's challenging, but it's a good challenge.
Okay.
Because with that, it helps you for your next audition. It helps you for going on stage, helping become quicker. So let's say you want to you're doing a film and you're like an audition for it. You're telling me, okay, you have X amount of days to learn the scene. So I'm like, okay, so you know what? I just got to do it. I got to get into the rhythm. I gotta get into character. As of when you're doing stand up, all right.
Yeah.
You have so much time you could work on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's take a step back because you said that you were studying cinematography.
Yeah.
At Dawson.
At Dawson.
So initially, it sounds like you want to be a director.
Yeah, initially,
right?
I wanted to, and this was because it all started with, besides the films I mentioned, it all started because I don't know if you know the show Firefly by Joss Whedon.
No, I don't.
Okay, it's a cult, it's a sci-fi western. So I saw that in a Michael Bay film. Okay. I'm like, I want to do that, because every time, for me, like, Michael Bay is a guilty pleasure film.
Okay.
So I'm like, you know what? Michael Bay is like this guy who, this shoots explosions, slow motions.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
Yeah.
So that's how. So then I remember this teacher. I was talking with him, and I forgot his name. I'm sorry. And he goes, "So Claudio, what, like, we're having a conversation like we're having now. Why do you want to go into cinematography? What makes you want to go into the film world?"
Yeah.
And I looked at him, and I'm like, explosions.
That's it.
That's it. He
Yeah.
goes, what? My God, I was nervous. I didn't know, I wasn't as knowledgeable as I am now. I'm like, I know, because I like Michael Bay and I like The Island. It's good explosions. And he looked at me, he goes, and he just walks away.
Yeah.
But now I reflect on that, and I had a conversation with someone else, and he goes, Claudio, why do you want to do film? Now I'm into it, because I love the storytelling. I love the characters.
Yeah. So it sounds like just more like personal growth.
Exactly.
Right. Obviously, like Michael Bay, he wasn't doing explosions from the dawn of time when he started.
Yeah.
He was known as a commercial director actually for like 10 years.
Exactly.
And then he got approached through him because he did a music video that went viral. And,
Yeah.
you know, he got famous because of that music video.
Yeah.
And then he got the opportunity to do some of his earlier films.
Exactly.
Right? So
Exactly.
I think if you're going to do anything in terms of directing or whatever, don't be ashamed of whatever you end up doing, because you don't know what that can lead up to and who's going to watch it, right?
Exactly.
Especially now with the internet. Everyone has access to it anywhere and everywhere.
Yeah.
So you as an actor and comedian,
Mm-hmm.
how do you target your audience? Is there a technique that you have? Because I know it's hard.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
It's hard. There's a certain demographic that just won't care.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's others that are just passionate, loyal fans. And then there's others that are so-so.
Well,
Right.
you know, yeah. So, you know, you just got to be charismatic. That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
You know, and actually, because a friend of mine is a wrestler as well, and he told me some techniques. He goes, you know, you want people to like you. You know, as soon as you step on stage or in front of a camera, or whatever, you know, you got to have people around you
Yeah.
sensing, this is going to sound cliche, but this guy's a good guy. This guy knows what he's going to do. I can see in his eyes that this guy is very passionate. I was about to say passionate. It's an actual word in the St. Leonard dictionary. He's very passionate. I could see his drive.
Yeah.
And every time before I step on stage or in front of a camera, yeah, I'm a little nervous, but I'm like, you know what? I'm here because people, and again, it might sound like I'm high, but I'm here because people want me here. Whether it's to be a producer, director, anyone, or friends, I'm here because people want to listen to me.
Yeah.
And that's how I look at it. So as I put my foot on stage and I go, hey, what's up? Or I say the first word from a script, I'm here because, you know, people want to be, and I want to be here.
I mean, you could also have that mentality where it's like, I deserve to be here. Or, you know, I've earned my way here.
Yes.
Right? It's
Yes.
one of those things.
But I don't, and this is going to sound weird, I don't want to say that because then I'll get too cocky. And
So you get in your own head.
I don't want to be that guy. I've been that guy once, and it's not for me.
Yeah.
Like there was this one time, and I'm like, I had to stop myself midway, and I had to apologize because I don't want to be like, oh, you know, I'm here, whatever, but I can't because I just love people so much.
Yeah,
you know?
of course. No,
Yeah.
of course. So what about what's a role that you started off with? So obviously cinematography didn't work out for you.
Yeah.
But how did that lead to your first role?
So I played a goon.
You played a goon? Okay. So it was a short film?
It was a short film.
Yeah.
It was called Night Shift, and so I started off there. And a friend of mine, he goes, Claudio, you know, I need someone who needs to get killed in the film.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, you know what? Cool. Let me go and you know what? Let's do this. So I go there and I had a lot of fun. Then from there. They were doing calls for extras playing a film called Mafia Inc., which was in 2018 or
Sounds
19.
very familiar.
Yeah. So from there, I'm like, you know what? I played a goon once. Let me just play this extra. You know.
Yeah.
So it was at the Olympic Stadium. We needed a whole bunch of extras. They had to. It was an interrogation scene where everyone got arrested. It was a fun 2-day shoot.
Nice.
So I'm like, you know what? I played a goon before. I'll play a goon now. So I'm in that scene where the camera's panning to the left, I believe, and there's someone who's literally sitting like this, in a leather jacket. I was bigger weight, and I'm just sitting waiting to be interrogated. And that to me, seeing myself on screen for like a few seconds, that was
It's pretty cool, right?
exactly.
Even if you're just muted and it shows you.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, congrats.
Thank you. Then-
So where did that lead after?
Then it led me to, you know, I did a couple of extras because I mostly did a few extra work.
Okay.
And then I was in Sweet Home Alone.
Nice.
Yeah, I was in, I think it was like 11 to 20 minutes into the film. I'm literally behind the two actors. I'm in a red jacket. It's on
Nice.
Disney Plus. That was a lot of fun. I didn't know that the main kid was the main character for Home Alone. They're just like, oh, we need extras at kiosks. But one time we were spending 3 days there, and kid was just literally running in front of me, but I didn't know that was part of a shoot. So we were there for like 10 hours, and this kid comes out, and I literally yelled, "Why does this kid keep falling in front of me?"
Yeah.
And then the producer's like, "This is the protagonist or the main character of Home Alone." I'm like, "Oh, that's everyone literally looking at me in silence," and I'm like, I slowly back out, and I slipped because we were filming outside. There was like ice.
Yeah.
That was embarrassing, but it's still a lot of fun.
Yeah. I think that's one thing, is to have a certain etiquette. So it's
Exactly.
if you keep seeing the same thing happening in front of you, it's a pretty good sign. Thank
you, Sean. Thank you. Now I know.
I'm just saying.
Thank you.
There's no way the kid's going to keep running in front and falling for fun. It's not an animal. It's not a dog doing a trick.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
You're right, because if we were there...
Because if it was once or twice or 3 times, okay, maybe it's a coincidence there's a patch of ice that he's falling on. But 6, 7, 8 times, I'd be like, "Are you okay, kid? Like, what is going on?"
I remember I was on set early from 6 a.m. and that happened at 4 p.m. at night, and it was cold. And I'm like, but it did not click to me. I'm like, "Man, why does this kid keep falling?" But I did not swear. Thank God. But but it was fun. Now I know, Sean. So, Sean, if you keep falling 5, 6, 7 times in 4 hours, I understand.
Exactly. Yeah. You've been there, done that.
Exactly.
So that led to, I think I recently read a production called Italian Wedding, was it?
Yeah, it was Joan
so
Mary's
what's that
wedding.
all about? Yeah.
So basically, Joan Mary's wedding is a fake Italian wedding. So it's like you're going to an actual wedding, but it's a play. So everything.
Wait, the wedding's not real?
Damn it! It wasn't. Oh man, I'll be back. We'll give away my $300 boost.
Yeah.
So how that happened was the producer's name is Stevie V. He's from Insemi, Montreal.
Okay.
He goes, "Claudio, I have I need someone to play the X." So I'm like, "Cool, all right." So I went. I had a little part, but I was coming in throughout the like half the entire play.
Oh, so it was a play, yeah. Like
Yeah,
a theater? Okay.
Yeah, it was a play. Yeah, so it was a dinner and a play.
Nice.
So the first time I did it, I felt like people.
When you did the production, was it here in Montreal?
Yes.
It was. Okay.
It was the first. Yeah. So I had to interrupt a wedding, and the audience members who were at the wedding didn't like that. They're like, because they're so invested into the story.
Yeah.
It's believable that they're at an actual wedding. So the first time, I'm like, why am I, why people like, some of them saying boo, some of them are not liking it. I did it a second time.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you know what? Like people are taking, like throughout the whole night, people thought it was real for some reason. And the third time, it was in Hamilton. It was last year.
Hamilton,
Ontario.
Nice. Yeah. Random.
Yeah, it was in Hamilton, Ontario, because
Okay.
it was also with Ipatsi Entertainment Group teamed up with Insemi Montreal.
That's huge.
Yeah, I played the X again. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, now I see why people are so. In a way, I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to be this X. People are supposed to hate me. It's even in the script. So now I'm understanding this. All right, I'll be the a-hole. I'm sorry. That's
X.
I'm going to be the X that people don't like.
Yeah.
So I went in there with, cocky attitude in the story. And basically it was a lot of fun playing a douchebag X.
Did you happen to have, and here's my punchline, an audience member saying, "Why does that guy keep coming back here?"
Not, sort of.
Sort of like your experience with the kid. It's like, why does this kid keep falling? Why does this guy keep?
So the audience members in Hamilton are a lot of fun because they were like, I saw in their faces like what's going on. Even the actors responding to that. Like what's going on, and I finally had the guts to say, you know what, keep your mouth shut. I have to say something. So this is what was happening, and I was finally conversing with them. I'm like,
with the audience members,
to the audience members and to the whole crew. Sorry, to the whole cast.
Okay.
And I'm like, whoa, no. On the lines of, wait your turn, you know what? I gotta say something, and I want to say, shut your mouth, Hamilton, but I don't want to get a beating after
Yeah.
the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
It is. It's
Huh.
it's a lot of fun.
How do you prepare for something like that, though?
Basically, how I prepare for this is like, for example, right? If you're, whether it's a play or a film or television, the producer, director is going to tell you, you have to play, you're a villain or you have to play this a-hole.
Mm-hmm.
So going mentality is, all right, how am I going to do this? And I watched a lot of like All Elite Wrestling. And there's a wrestler called MJF.
Okay.
And he's the greatest a-hole in wrestling, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let me look at his promos. Let me look how he does it.
Yeah.
So then, I take down notes on how he does it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I look at my script and I'm like, all right, so let me try this out. Let me get into the a-holeness of characters.
Yeah, it's like emulating.
Exactly.
Right, almost?
That
Yeah.
was, yes, it's like emulating, it's so much fun.
So then you went through that process. What about the dialogue? How did you work on your lines to memorize them, to be off book, so to speak, or was it more like improvised?
A bit of both.
Okay.
A bit of both because when you're doing that kind of play, you're like, you have to be this a-hole.
Mm-hmm.
You have to understand why you're interrupting a scenario.
Yeah.
It's like, for example, let's say you're doing a scene, you're talking with a girl or a guy about a situation, someone comes in and interrupt.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be the person. All I have to do is, for example, Sean, you're this, you're that, you're this, you're that, and that. I have to implement that I'm basically cock blocking you. I don't know if I could swear on this.
Go ahead, it's YouTube.
so like
Yeah.
cock blocking into what you're trying to do.
Okay.
So then I would emulate that,
Yeah.
and then I understand the key words in the script, in the scene.
Yeah, so pretty much you're just trying to just neglect and do anything for the wedding to even occur.
Exactly.
And that's where you just try to cause the most ruckus and this and that, right?
Absolutely.
Pretty much?
Yeah, pretty much.
So after that production, what else have you done?
And then I've done this play. I've done another play.
Another play?
Yeah.
Nice.
I've done another play, and that was fun too.
What was the play about?
It was basically from my perspective. It was basically I played the brother of this girl going through a tough time through COVID, and long story short, she went through a divorce, and I was playing the brother.
Okay.
And it was at Casa Italia. It was for a Saturday and Sunday.
Nice.
And that was a fun play. That was that was because in the same way it was a bit challenging, but it was still a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about like voiceover? What's something that you would want to do? Would you want to do like a adult animation, for example, like Robot Chicken, Family Guy, a video game, for example?
Honestly, whatever opportunity comes knocking at my email or social media, if Seth MacFarlane comes up to me and goes, hey, come and do Family Guy or another wacky animation.
Yeah.
Why not? Because look, we're all, at the end, we're all actors.
Mm-hmm.
We all want to have that role that want people to remember us by. So whatever work we can get.
I remember I had an audition for My Little Pony.
Oh, okay.
Where I had to play an NPC Little Pony.
Okay. This is good
I do
material.
not
Yeah, go
want
ahead.
people to remember me for that role
Okay.
of being a pony, right? In a video game.
So
An
whenever-
NPC pony where you walk by him and he like the proximity chat. So he's like, hey, and he's trying to encourage the gamer to go and interact with him.
So whenever you want to try doing stand-up, I will bring you up as a guy who auditioned for My Little Pony.
Sure, yeah, and I got the masculine
There we
macho
go.
energy, right? And it's My Little Pony.
There we
so,
go. Hey, what?
but that's acting, right? So it
Exactly.
shows the extremities that
Exactly,
one can go to.
exactly.
And
We
it's,
gotta,
voiceover, it's about your voice, not how you look. So people don't know what I look like. They hear my voice and they're like, okay, who is that?
Okay,
Kind of
yeah.
raspy and this and that.
Exactly.
But you need versatility as well when it
Exactly.
comes to voiceover.
Exactly.
Right?
It can't always
So-
be a typecast, I find.
Yeah, no, but versatility. So accents, you can do enunciation, you can do speaking without enunciation like
Exactly.
that, right? So,
Exactly.
okay, so last question before we wrap
Yes.
I want to ask you, if I was the dream producer, the dream producer of your dreams, and I had a script here, it's blank, and you have to sell your soul to it, and it's any role, past, present, or future, what character or role would you accept right now?
Ooh. Any specific genre?
Anything. It's your absolute dream.
Oh,
no one
my
can
God.
take that away from you.
Okay. Oh man, The Thing from Fantastic Four.
The Thing?
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting that.
I was, because he's one. The Fantastic Four is one of my favorite comic book films.
Really?
Okay. Comic books growing up.
Yeah.
And The Thing is if he's used properly, he could be the action of the group. He could be this solid. Well, because he's a rock, so of course he's solid.
Pun intended.
Yeah, exactly. He could be this fun, solid, bashing like a Hulk kind of figure. And I'm like, one day,
he doesn't turn into a human, right? He's not able to. That's only the Hulk.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Red Hulk or
Exactly.
whatever. Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
And She-Hulk.
Yeah.
And Cat Hulk and whatever else.
Yeah,
other
Dog
Hulks.
Hulk. Yeah, but no,
Yeah.
but I know now Fantastic Four is being recasted. But if somewhere down the line, I got offered to do a superhero. Any superhero film. That specifically, I would do it. And also,
Well, the thing is, Claudio.
Yeah.
The thing is your role, so go ahead.
I see, and also, I'll be cast as Batman.
Batman, multiverse Batman.
Exactly. That's why, and of course, like almost every actor, like I spoke to a lot of actors, like, oh man, I want to do Batman. I'm like, it's same here.
All right.
I would like to.
I'll let you in on a secret before we wrap this up.
Go ahead.
The role that I would want to do, since you're talking Batman and stuff,
Yes.
I would want to do the Carnage.
Yes, Carnage is
The dark, diabolical Carnage, who's a serial killer, and there's a love story prior, and it gets people to love him, and then he turns. Flips the switch.
Yeah, better. You do a better job than the Let There Be Carnage. Carnage.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Okay.
All right, man. So we're gonna wrap this up.
Yes.
That is another episode of Rising Stars, guys. I'm your interim host, Sean Watt. This production is sponsored by Urban Eats MTL. I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Claudio Silvio, what an absolute pleasure to have
Thank
you,
you.
man. It was
Thank
fun.
you. Thank you
Wishing
very
you all
much.
the best. Okay.
Same. Thank you.
Take care, guys.